Okay, here we are trying again. This is attempt 6. I want to get this right. For those of you who don't know, Blender is a 3D creation suite. If you want to create anything in 3D, this would be the one to use. It's open source, much like every other program I use. I'm also testing my mouse script. You see the actual mouse shape chasing the cursor here. It shows you visually what buttons I'm pressing at the time, along with keystrokes I'm pressing will also show up there. So that should better help you see what I'm doing. If you need to, because it's a video, you can always rewind back and double check if I go a little bit too fast. Alright, to start off, I have Blender downloaded. I have the zip file. I like zip files better. I use 7-zip, which is also open source, and I'm going to extract the zip file. So just go into the folder and run Blender. Now, the default settings of Blender aren't exactly intuitive, so first thing I do is I drag down the border. The arrow will change into like a double arrow thing. I don't think it shows up when I'm recording, as I found out in previous attempts. The first thing that I do to make it more intuitive would be select the left mouse button, which is common on just about every operating system. The other two things I'd like to turn on here are the auto perspective and rotate around selection, so you're not rotating off into space or something while you're editing. Now with those three things turned on, you can just push the border back up, and over here on the file menu there's save default settings, and every time you start up you should see this and it should be set up right. One more thing that I like to do, as of right now, you use the left mouse button to select things. That's fine. Use the right mouse button for your context menu for adding things. I'm seeing a bug right away here with the black bars. That I don't know how to fix in my program, but I can possibly look into it at some point. Anyway, in your context menu you have all your other things you can do with your objects, and your middle mouse button, your scroll wheel, lets you rotate around and check out the world that you're developing, object or whatnot. The biggest pain I have is that my scroll wheel leaves like a dent in my finger after a little bit of time editing, so if you are lucky enough to have a mouse with more than 3 buttons, the left, right, and the middle mouse button being the mouse wheel, you have a chance to change these buttons as you need them to. Sometimes even with the program that comes with it. If you have mouse software, you could probably assign the buttons from there, but if you don't, Autohotkey is a nice open source program that lets you do that. I have a program written up here. It's rather short. You just type this in and save it as an AHK file, and this will remap your X buttons, as they're called, extra buttons, to your middle mouse button. So just drag and drop this into Autohotkey. The H will show up down there in the corner, and if I take a trip back into Blender, the middle mouse button moves me around. The X button, which does not show up because I don't have it in my program, also does the rotating around, so it's a lot more comfortable to do it this way. Next, I want to show off a couple quick start features with Blender. If you scroll up or down, you can zoom in or out depending on which way you have your view pointed. If you hold down a modifier while you're doing this, like Control, you scroll to the left or right. If you hold down Shift, you scroll up and down. Another bug, something I might want to look into. I think my program just crashed. Alright, something I'll have to check out later. That didn't happen in the previous attempts. Okay, so from here, if you want to demonstrate something else that doesn't show up I found in a previous attempt, the numeric keypad also lets you get your orthographic views. Number 1 on the numeric keypad would be the front, 3 would be the side, and 1 would be the top.